show. It's the best.
Fans are obsessed with the Netflix series Ginny in Georgia, which recently debuted its second season.
To huge ratings. Joining us now is Georgia herself. Brianne Howey is here.
Brianne, thank you for taking the time to come. Congratulations on the show. I mean, it's been dominating Netflix. Must feel so good with so much content out there to be received so warmly, huh?
100%. I can't thank everyone enough for watching. We wouldn't get to do what we love to do if they didn't, so thank you.
You know what? This show is so great. Tell everybody the premise that they haven't watched, because you play a single mom.
That's right.
Who has really had to fend for herself her whole life.
Exactly.
And in real life, you were raised by a single mom. I think that parallel is so interesting. Do you find yourself thinking back?
Absolutely. My mom had me at 21. We joked and would call ourselves the Gilmore Girls, so this project feels like we've come very full circle. And Georgia has 2 young kids, and she's led kind of a traumatic life and just wants to make sure her kids don't have to live the same kind of life that she did.
Oh, what a fun premise. And it's cool because you have a lot of celeb fans out there, too. I read that Gabrielle Union reached out and was like, I love the show.
I totally freaked out. I got to meet her in New York last week on a talk show, and she said that she and her husband were actually talking about one of the therapy scenes from season 2, and I was just awestruck.
Oh, that's awesome.
For those who haven't seen the show, not Gilmore Girls, explain a little more of the premise of Ginny and Georgia.
Well, season 2 picks up 2 weeks after season 1. Ginny has just discovered that her mom, that her stepdad didn't die of natural causes, we'll say.
Ooh, okay.
And that maybe
But he
her
was a
mom,
bad man.
It makes sense, exactly, in the context. But they moved to this new town. Georgia's past is haunting her. And it's a real coming of age where Georgia, the mom, is coming of age, almost more so than her younger, more mature daughter, obviously.
They're both growing, huh? So how would you describe Georgia? How would you see her as she's got layers, huh?
A lot of layers that I love.
Georgia is larger than life. She is incredibly passionate, but she also definitely has a little bit of a diabolical streak.
Oh.
You know what I love is...
That's fun. That's fun to play.
There's the last scene. I'm not going to... She really does. She is so fascinating. But you, my friend, are a scene stealer. You could not look away when you were on the screen. And Mario, she went to the high school where my girls went, where your Gia will go.
Hey, so that's a good sign.
That's a good sign.
Where is it? I don't know.
There she is right there for Shaw, the toe logs, baby.
That was our dress uniform day. I think it was like baccalaureate,
Yes.
I think.
Did you
wow.
know then this is what you wanted to do? Was this always the plan?
Not necessarily. I knew I wanted to go to NYU, and I thought if I could get into Tisch, into their acting department, then maybe I would take this seriously as a career. But it wasn't until I got in, then I thought, okay, let's give this a go. But I fell in love with New York, and I knew that that's where I wanted to go to school.
That's so cool how you've done it all this way.
Yeah. Thank you.
And then you mentioned, I believe you mentioned you were married. You said your husband. And does your husband watch with you?
That was, yes, watching with Matt. Netflix does this really cool thing. Oh, there he is. Netflix does this cool thing where they actually put all the episodes in your Netflix account before it comes out. So we sat down, and I remember during season 1, I thought he would just watch an episode with me to be supportive. And he ended up watching 4 or 5 in a row with me. And that's when I thought, oh my God, we might be onto something here.
Is it true way back in the day, was it Hugh Jackman that saw you? You were like a receptionist at a hair salon?
Yeah.
And he said, you've got it. You're going to be a huge star.
He just told his daughter to thank me and said, Brianne's going to be a famous actress one day. And I've always carried that in my heart. And it's
Wait, have
unreal.
we heard from Hugh?
He restoried one of the clips from Fallon, which was pretty incredible. Yeah,
that's so cool.
It was really cool.
He's
I
the
know.
nicest guy. So,
He's a class act, and it's an honor. It's so cool.
Nice.
Oh my God, I love this.
And the fashion, yeah, she's a bit of a fashion plate right there, huh?
That's right.
Do you have any sort of influence on that particular character style, or?
A little bit. I hand it all over to our wardrobe department. Georgia, again, she's larger than life. She loves expressing herself, and she takes up all of the oxygen in the room with her hair, her makeup, her outfit. So we're here for the statement shoes and collars and high waists.
It's so great. Wait, are they comparing you to what's the horror movie?
Megan.
Megan.
They're saying you were given, the doll a run for her money. I love that doll. The doll's got a pea coat.
Megan's on point though with her gear right there.
Well, and truthfully, a fan actually tweeted that, and I retweeted it just because I thought it was so hysterical.
That's funny.
Comparing Megan and Georgia, which I'm sure they actually have more in common than we'd like to admit. But I thought it was so funny.
Well, come back with all your stuff. We couldn't wait to meet you today. We're big fans.
Congrats
Can't wait
on
to see what you
everything.
do next. I'll tell
awesome.
Sister Celeste and Sister Carolyn.
Please send my
that
love.
You say hello.
I hope they haven't watched the show.
That's great.
Season 2 of Ginny Georgia, available for streaming right now on Netflix. Go ahead and binge it.
Check it out.